All right. Okay, we're trying it. We're just going to go right for it. Let me log in. Does that make anybody else feel like, man, I'm kind of that dude a little bit? And when y'all can just remember your passwords? You know what I mean? Some of them I don't, though. There's actually a lot I don't remember. But when you remember like a few passwords, and you're like, yeah, I didn't have to look that up. I just typed that thing in there. It didn't even save it. You know that new password save thing that iPhone's got? I didn't got to do all that. Plus, I don't like doing that. Side note, I don't like doing that. Because then I do that and I don't remember the password. So if I sign on anything else, like I don't know what the password is. And then it's insane. It's like 16 characters. It's ridiculous, man. But anyways, we're live, man. We're live. We're over here. Let me know if I sound good. Give me a 1 in the chat if we sound good. Actually, I should just check. Let me see. Let me just listen. I probably don't. Let me listen though. Let me listen. Actually, I should just check. Let me see. Test. Sound noises. Soundly noises. Let's try it again. Hold up. Test. Sound noises. Oh yeah. We sound good. Yeah, we sound good. Ken's in the building. Pete's in the building. Bobo's here. All right. So we're good to go. This live stream is being brought to you by BetUS. YouTube 150. That's the code. It's in the description right now. 150% deposit match, first deposit, 125% your next two up to $2,000. That's your sign-up bonus, man. So take advantage of that. Yesterday we did our short. We did our player prop parlay. I'm feeling good about it. You know what I mean? I bet $5 could win 20. That's not that crazy. You know what I mean? But I feel good about it. Honestly, the weird one is the worst one I feel about. That sounds weird. But the one I'm least confident in is probably Jahmyr Gibbs. Because I do think that, first off, that's just a lot of rushing yards. But secondly, it's I think Craig and Vaki are going to get some touches. To the point. Chat. Today's the day, man. Look, we've been waiting for this opportunity. You know what I mean? Now, hold up. Maybe this opportunity expands. You know what I mean? As the season goes on, maybe we see a little bit more and more of this. But today, hold up. What? Hey, I got the Vaki shirt. Dose of Dad, we were trying to figure out his fantasy team. Guess what we did? We started both Vaki and Craig Reynolds. He doesn't have any running backs. It's not ideal, okay? Not ideal. But we're just like, hey, let's play both of them. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know which one. I was like, you probably should go with Craig, but I think Vaki's a dog. You know what I mean? I think they're going to give Craig the majority, but I like Vaki. It's like, okay, let's just add both. So our running back, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to go up. But anyways, it's going to be fun. Spencer's in the building. Branche on the injured list today. This is great. This is fantastic. So let's go to that. Right now. Let's go to the inactive. Because we also got some roster moves, like a handful of roster moves. So we should probably update those as well. You know what I mean? We should probably update what's going on there because there's a lot. Okay, I'm going to present this on Fantasy, Vaki, and Reynolds. Ouch. Yeah, it's not ideal. Look, he's had a rough go. Okay, this is his first time ever doing fantasy. His first pick, and now, hey, we played him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'll take the majority of the blame here, but I'm throwing it some on y'all. Whoever was in the chat that day, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all got to take some blame for that. He was like the third pick, and we were like, yo, he's like, what should I do? He called us while we were live. It's like, take Tyreek. Tyreek's been terrible. Hey, look, man, it's been rough. Actually, the weird thing is he has Montgomery. That's why we've went this direction. Montgomery's probably been his most consistent piece. He's got Tyreek, whack. He's got Cooper Kupp. I mean, this dude had 0 receptions a couple games ago. He's struggling a little bit. All right, he's struggling a little bit. So, you know, we're gonna take a swing. We'll see what happens. But it'll at least give us an outlook for the future. You know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe next week. I don't even know. This might be the last week, so who knows? Anyways, I don't understand fantasy that well. I still don't know what's going on with my fantasy. I mean, this is a complete side note. I have no idea what's going on with my fantasy. Like, I'm still playing, but I'm not sure how I'm still playing. Like, I'm definitely out, and I lost last week, but, like, my score is still going. I don't know if they're, like, adding them together or what, but I'm like, okay, we still got a chance. I don't know what, but I guess we're playing. Okay, let's go to the inactives here. Did I throw these on the screen? No, I did. Okay, let's go to these, and then we'll go to the roster moves because there's a lot. Craig way better than Vaki? We're about to find out. I think right now they'll trust Craig a lot more. I think within a year, Vaki takes that job. I'm going to be honest with you. And I love Craig Reynolds, but I think Vaki's going to be incredible. But y'all know where I'm at on that. I think he's going to be insane in the NFL. Here we go. So, should I zoom in? Yeah, I should probably zoom in. This is going to be hard to see. Okay. Dave Montgomery, we know he's out. Okay, so we know that's the thing. Quan Alexander, probably the weirdest one on here to me. Quan Alexander is out. I mean, some of this I'll have to hit on the roster moves just to make it make sense, but we'll just start here. Quan Alexander's out. He's inactive. First thing I'd say to that is David Long is going to get a lot of the snaps today. That'd be my assumption. David Long is going to see the field a ton today. He played incredibly well last week. They're going to give him another look at it. He was the first guy. He played almost 30 snaps. He was awesome last week. David Long is going to get a majority of the snaps at that position this week. But it is still a little surprising that Quan's down. He wasn't on the injury report unless something came up on like Saturday. Giovanni Manu, healthy scratch. Graham Gano. With Graham Gano being out, or not Graham Gano. Who am I talking? I'm talking about a kicker. Graham Glasgow being out. Christian Mahogany set to make his start. He's only played 3 snaps this year. We didn't see him in the preseason. So this is like putting a rookie out there. Unless they go with KO'd, but I've heard that it's going to be Mahogany. So my assumption is it's going to be Mahogany starting the rookie. But I'm sure they're going to have KO'd up. They're going to have that option if they want to go that direction. Otherwise, Colby Sorstel, healthy scratch. Jonah Williams, healthy scratch. To me, that tells me we're going Miles Adams. Fired up. It's great. Let's get back to Miles Adams. Dude was really good in his first game. Let's go back that direction. Awesome. And then Broderick Martin is also, I'd say, a healthy scratch, but that one I think directly plays into the roster moves. Now, as the chat is even saying, not even the chat, but as my man, whatever this is, Iffy and Mosley are not on this list. Now, Iffy was listed as questionable to play, even though that he was activated off of IR, so he could already play this weekend, technically, but he's still technically questionable, so there was that. He's not on here, so if he's going to play. Same thing with Emmanuel Mosley. Now, Emmanuel Mosley really has never had been on the injury report. He's just been I call him a healthy scratch. I don't know. Dan Campbell said it was his best week. Here he is. He's set to play this game. So I don't know how much he'll actually play, but those guys can definitely be on the field today. So that's exciting. That's exciting. We might get our first look at that. And then we had the roster moves, which were tied in too, which there's a lot going on here. One of them, I saw the name, and I was like, what? And then you're like, okay, there's more to this. That makes sense. I don't know the details to it as of now. We'll probably find out later, or maybe we won't. I don't know. I went too far. Let me pull that up on the screen. Lions be posting these things. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. So, yeah, Brandon Joseph has been waived. So, Brandon Joseph has been waived. Apparently, this isn't like a football thing because it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, why would you waive Brandon Joseph? He's incredible. So, yeah, well, he's not incredible, but Brandon Joseph's a good player. He's a really good backup safety. Very reliable. He's stepped in already a few times this season, played well. So I was a little surprised by that. I know the versatility is not, as much present, but he's a nice player in his own rights. Brandon Joseph being waived was surprising. In turn of that, you could see that they also signed, where's my man at? Oh, excuse me. They elevated Lawrence Strickland. So Lawrence Strickland's up now. That'll give them the safety depth as a backup. Remember, Strickland was let go a few weeks ago, and that's kind of just the roster shuffle. But now Strickland is elevated for this game. He'll be the backup safety. I'm cool with that. Like, I trust Strickland. Strickland brings a little bit more flexibility, too. I think Strickland's a little bit better towards the box, which is unfortunate because that's why I think those two play so well off of each other. But anyways, apparently there's other things going on with that. We'll just have to wait for that information if we even get it. Maurice Alexander also has been waived, so the Lions are seemingly pivoting from Maurice Alexander to Tom Kennedy at this time. I mean, hey, honestly, it's Tom Kennedy season. I mean, that's just what it is, right? Like, we get to December at some point, Tom Kennedy's going to play football. That's just what it is. It seems like it's every year. At some point, this guy's going to find the field. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming he might be returning. Khalif Raymond, hopefully soon, is coming back here. And maybe they're getting prepped for that. But honestly, Maurice Alexander hasn't played on offense. I wonder if a little bit of this is after last week. Allen Robinson didn't look fantastic at the few snaps that he got towards the end. I wonder if Tom Kennedy kind of starts to slide into that role. Allen Robinson's been an excellent blocker, though. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But that'd be the one thing that kind of intrigues me a little bit is if they're like, okay, we actually want to give him some offensive snaps. Otherwise, it'd be punt returner. And then also Chris Smith being signed to the active roster. I'm excited about this one. I think this is fair for Chris Smith. Chris Smith's been up this year. He also played against Green Bay. And Chris Smith, I think he did pretty well. He played some nose tackle for us. And then with Ryder Martin being a healthy scratch today, that speaks right to bringing Chris Smith up. And again, this is something they're going to have to figure out. Not having a Lee McNeil, they got to figure it out now going down the road. Of course, you have Pat O'Connor. Levi can kick inside, but I think they love having him at defensive end. So they need some interior depth. And it was like, hey, one of those two guys. Chris Smith, I think, is he's built a little bit more like a defensive tackle to just slide in for Liam. The problem, I think, is that he doesn't have like some of the length and just some of the range at that position. So I think it fits him a little bit better at nose tackle. He's a weird build. He's a very weird build. But the point is that not bad at nose tackle. So at least for some just straight depth there. And then also having Miles Adams up, who could also play inside, outside. Miles Adams can play the Aleem McNeil role. He definitely can. Again, they used him a lot at defensive end, but with Jonah Williams not being up this week, who does play primarily defensive end, you instead go with Miles Adams, who actually plays in the interior, is much better fit for that. When we initially signed him, I thought that he was going to play some of that 3 technique. So for me, I think Miles Adams just is the right fit here. So I think Chris Smith probably has to do something with Miles Adams over Jonah Williams. I think those things all tie together. And then activated iffy, we touched on. David Bada, you hate this. This happened a while ago, but injury settlement, he's been let go. And the final thing is Mitchell Agude has been signed. So Mitchell Agude has also been up this year. Listed as outside linebacker, can kind of play that same position, but mainly played defensive end for us. Last time he was just playing defensive end. So I assume that they'll kind of just keep him in that spot. Again, with Levi potentially kicking inside, Mitchell Agude could add a little bit of flexibility if they wanted to go that route. He also does bring some athleticism a little bit too. I would say to this, and let me get because he's been signed. Let me get this up. There was, actually, I can probably just pull it up on Twitter. There was like a quote, I think from our special teams coach talking about Anthony Pittman. So I'm actually going to play that. I think that's on here. I'm going to play the Anthony Pittman quote. I mean, we know that Trevor Nowaski's back, so he'll be the starter. But Anthony Pittman is already on the 53. I think I'm gonna play that one, and then we'll just wrap it with Jamar Jefferson's up. Honestly, if I could wear 2 shirts at the same time and you could see both, I'd do it. I'd flip it around so you see my Jamar Jefferson on the front, Vaki on the back. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe I gotta make a custom shirt. I cut it, put the Jamar Jefferson on the front, bam, sew that thing together. You see Jefferson, you see Vaki. That's a tough duo. I'm fired up. We might actually get to see this. I don't think we'll see much Jefferson today. He's more special teams. But with Craig getting more touches on offense, special teams role, pull back a little bit, could go more to Jamar Jefferson, who is awesome on special teams. I love Jamar Jefferson on special teams. So, yeah, that's a lot of the moves that they made. But there was like a quote this week. I think it was Dave Phipp who was speaking on Anthony Pittman. So I'm gonna play that. This isn't right. Dave Phipp, where is it? What do they do on Thursdays? I think they do it on Thursdays. Our job is to go play football. Okay, we see you, Aaron Glenn. All right, go play football then. Wait, hold up. I thought it was in here. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I didn't see it. I just made something up in my head like he talked about Pittman. He did. He may not have. I thought they did. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just leave it there. It's not that important, but I just thought I'd play the clip, a little sound bite. Oh, here it is. No, it's right here. Like he was hiding. You were hiding next to Aaron Glenn. All right, let's play the clip.
Who's obviously played in your system and go in there and play right away. That's obviously very comforting. But for me personally, honestly, more than anything, man, it's just seeing the guy's face in the building and the smile and his energy. I mean, it gives me energy. He's a great player. He's a total pro. He's totally committed to this game. He's come a long ways. We got to see him grow up and develop. When I got here, I think he was on the practice squad the year before, but never played in a game. So we got to see him play his first game, play his first snaps, end up making a lot of plays and being a very valuable player for us. And then to see him come, and I told you guys, he took a chance. He took it, and he bet on himself, and he wanted to go out there and see if he could end up being a positional player. Washington gave him that opportunity, and he went for it, which I totally credit the kid. I love him more for it. So he took a chance on himself. It didn't end up working out, and then it ended up working out that we got him back here, and he gets to play again for us, so I'm excited.
The interesting thing to me about that, and I love the quote there by Dave Phipp, speaking of like taking a chance on himself, being a positional player, not just being a special teamer, right? And we've seen this happen. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not gonna say Jalen was that because Jalen does play defense, but we know Jalen signed a nice little deal at one point. We've seen our backers do this where they'll go elsewhere and they'll get a shot. And now Pittman's back. Pittman, obviously, they're gonna use him on special teams. That's what it sounds like. But especially with these other guys jumping up here and taking some snaps, I still would like to see him get some defensive reps. Like, I get it. I can't take back what I've seen in the very few snaps. I know it's not much, and I know the biggest question is, like, how is he going to play the run, and that's what we need help with, and I don't know what that's going to look like. But, man, I'd love to see where their confidence level could get with that. Like, if they could just get to a point where they're like, or maybe we blow out somebody, and, right, he comes in at the end, he plays Sam, and he just cooks. Sometimes it just takes a look live. I would love to see it. I think that he could actually add a lot there. I think there's upside there as a legitimate backer for us that could actually create pressure from that position, but it doesn't sound like that's what they're doing. And I wanted to play that because I know we spent some time talking about it during a week at one point, so I just wanted to throw that in there. But shout out to Dave Phipp, man. That was a good quote. Okay, So that's the move. What's up, Dan? What's up, EFOG? Here in Seattle, can the Seahawks finally show up and beat the Vikings, please? My goodness, man. Seattle's been such a disappointment. I mean, my goodness, they've been such a disappointment. Here's the positive. Geno Smith is set to play. Geno Smith is set to play. Kenneth Walker set to go. If Geno didn't play, I think that's over. I don't think they can win today. Honestly, I don't think Seattle can win. But I'm hoping, like to your point, at some point they pull an upset. I don't see it, though. I'd be shocked. And I know my man, Turd Man, saying go Pack Go is also rooting for that, too. That's one thing we can agree on. You know what I mean? Handle business, Seattle. I don't know, though. Does Seattle, well, maybe, I guess that's probably a win-win for Green Bay, because I feel like if Seattle loses, that probably helps their playoff chances, right? Because Seattle got eight wins. Yeah, but they already beat Seattle. Nah, y'all want Seattle to win. That'd be my guess. Because then you play Minnesota. You give yourself a chance, right? You give yourself a chance. You have Seattle win, and then they beat Minnesota. You'd be right there for the Vikings and jumping the Vikings. Now for the division, but you'd be right there. So, I mean, we can all agree on it. I just think they're going to get smoked. I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to get boat raced, dog. I think this is going to happen in both games. The Saints one might be closer because there's just less scoring because of the weather. I hope I'm wrong, though. Doug and Bobo. Okay, so that's the roster moves. We got a lot of stuff going on there. I'm excited for a lot of it. The Quan one still throws me off just a little bit. To be honest, that one throws me off a little bit, not having him active at all. But I feel good about most of the moves that the Lions are making there. I think seeing Chris Williams again is going to be good. I'm very excited about running back. I had Everything King text me after. It was very shortly after we figured out about the Monty thing. I think it was like a day or two afterward. And after that happened, he was like, yo, I think Vaki's better than people think. I was watching his Utah stuff. And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, man. I know it's limited, right? It was like 50 carries? I don't know. I have to go back and check my video. It wasn't many carries. That dude was a dog, bro. He's going to be a dog. He's going to be incredible. I just hope that he gets touches. Kennedy parlay in $5. Odds paid me $880. Yo, what parlay is that? How many catches do you need? I mean, look, if we're winning by a lot, you know what I mean? And in the past, Tom Kennedy has been clutch against this team. We have seen that. That'd be the one thing. That's the one thing that I'm interested in, to see if they are using him a little bit on offense. I think it's on the table. I think it is. I think that's the reason, not the reason, but it could be part of the reason that you go with him over Maurice outside of just special teams. It would make some sense. Okay, so with that, let's move over real quick. What up? It's Duke. How you doing? Golf is fine outside. It's a myth. Ooh. Okay, you tell him, Doug. Let's go to BetUS, man. Let's give a shot to BetUS. So we have the code in the description, YouTube 150. For your 150% deposit match as your sign-up bonus. 125% your next two with that code YouTube 150. So we got the lines for today. Let's take a look. So Lions line has jumped. This thing was 6.5. Now it's 7. We got to look at the Bears inactives. We're going to do that next. So this has jumped a little bit. 47.5. I think that's moved down by a half a point. So it's been basically the same, but they've dropped that, moved the lines up a little bit. It's interesting. That's interesting movement. I'd still roll the over. I think that it going down a half point makes me. I'm assuming people are betting the under because of weather and stuff, but I'd hit the over, especially with the dropping again. I'd hit it now though. Like I feel like at 48 it's not good. 47.5 I think is money. I'd jump on it now, and then the -7 is tricky. Based on my score prediction, I'd hit that too, but. It's tricky. That's a tricky spot. What else do we got? So the weird one is the Packers have the biggest spread. Actually, this one is now tied. It's sitting at 14. What is the Vikings one, though? We're all talking about Vikings. It's Vikings -2. So they think this is going to be a game. Or at least the bettors do. They're like, yo, we're taking Seattle. People are betting on Seattle. And again, I think a lot of that is the Kenneth Walker, Geno playing thing. I haven't seen it this year, man. I don't trust their offense at all. And I got to be honest, man, not only do I not trust their offense, like their offensive line is going to be destroyed, I feel like, by Minnesota. I think they're going to be destroyed by Minnesota. I guess you could point to Chicago did have some success run blocking on Minnesota, so maybe if they bring that to life, Seattle's offensive line is so bad. I don't trust it, man. If I'm being honest, if I was a betting man, this scares me because it feels like they know something that I don't. But I'd have to stay away from Seattle. I'd have to jump on Minnesota for this one. I don't think I'd do that because I just don't want to bet for a divisional team to actually win the game because I'm not going to be rooting for that. But that's what I have to do with that line. But let's go to the Lions one. I think Lions over 47.5 is what I like to do here. 47.5 I think is nice. What if we bet 25? You win 22. All right, that's not bad. We could do that. So YouTube 150, that's the code. Shot to BetUS, man. Jump on it. If you're looking for a sports book, Just Google it. BetUS. Bam, bam, bam. They even got an app. I didn't know they even had an app. They have an app. All right. I mean, I don't use the app. I just use the web thing. It works better for me on it. It signs right in and everything. But they do have an app. If the field is slick, then this is a JMO game. DB's falling down. Okay. I like that. I like that way to look at it. Love the channel. I appreciate you, Mac. Thank you for being here. We got to go to the Bears side of things. I didn't put that one on my money line parlay either. Wait. My man said TD Kennedy, Laporta 40. No, that's not bad. That's not, hey, you might be playing with fire. I'm not mad at what you did, though. You bet $5 to win, what, 800? I'm not mad at you, bro. I can't be mad at that. You're taking a swing. I think Laporta's going to hit that number. I think that's fine. I mean, I think he's going to hit that number. I think you're safe there. The other one obviously the Kennedy one's goofy, but, if it's one catch anyway, I think the issue with Kennedy is he'll have to, break it. I don't think Kennedy would be able to. I'd be shocked if Kennedy caught, a 6-yard touchdown. I could be wrong. But I think in those spots, I'd be surprised if he was on the field. But I could see him catch, a 45-yard touchdown where he just, makes a guy miss and he's gone. I don't know. That's the only way I can see it really going out. Unless he gets a handoff, but I don't see them doing that for him. A screen, I don't know if I buy that. And plus, Kennedy's not that guy either that's just going to go shake dudes in space. Okay, though. Yeah, 5 to win 880. You can't hate it. All right, let's go to the Bears side. They do have their inactives posted. You bet my house. I bet my house and life savings on the Lions. Good bet. Uno. Safe bets. You know what I mean? Safe bets. That's what I like to see. See, this is what we're talking about. This is how betting is done correctly. Safe bets. Bet your house and life savings. Safe bets. All right. I see the 100s in the chat. That's what it is. Good bets. All right. Let's go. Good stuff. You're doing great work. You're doing great work, buddy. All right. Let's get it done. This is the Bears inactives. Travis Homer's out. I think we knew of that one. Rashawn Johnson, though, not listed. He'll be back. They're going to get their power back. They're going to use him on some of those inside runs. He's a good player. Noah Sewell, that takes me back, man. It takes me direct to draft time, man. Noah Sewell being on here, inactive. Corinne Amagaji. So this one, I don't want to say it doesn't change anything, but this is because you also have Braxton Jones back. If anything, he just started left tackle last game. I would say the weirdest thing about this is that maybe he could have been depth, right? But that being said, Tevin Jenkins is set to play. So their offensive line is whole. They got Pryor at right guard. I think it's Matt Pryor. Darnell Wright at right tackle. Shellen at center. Left guard, they're going to have Tevin Jenkins. And at left tackle, they'll have Braxton Jones. They have their offensive line whole, which is a huge flip. I guess during this time of year, you kind of look at it and you get hey, guys are just not practicing because of where it's at. But this is a huge flip from where it was at the beginning of the week when they had 2 guys listed, and it was this is concerning. And then last week, not having Braxton Jones and having Amagaji was one of their biggest issues against Minnesota. So they're going to kind of shore that up a little bit. It's going to be a challenge. We know they're going to want to run the football, and them being healthy on the offensive line, probably offensively, to me, it's the biggest strength, no question, is the fact that they're going to lean heavily on that run game. They got both running backs now healthy. They're not their top 2, and their offensive line is good to go. Their tight ends are fine. They love to lean on their tight ends. That is, to me, probably their biggest strength in this game, is that they're going to want to lean on that, and they're built to do that for this game. They're absolutely healthy. Braxton Jones is one of the best run-blocking left tackles in football. I really like Darnell Wright, especially as a run blocker, and Matt Pryor is literally 1,000 pounds, so that guy, well, not 1,000, but that guy is going to move people, so. And Tevin Jenkins, that's who he is. This is a good offensive line that can run block. So that's what they're built to do for this one. You can see it's just depth here with Doug Kramer. Gervon Dexter is probably the biggest one on here, though, because Gervon Dexter being out keeps that rotation that they have going of Chris Williams playing on the interior defensive line, right? It's names are slipping my mind right now. I'm gonna have to pull up their depth chart. Names are slipping my mind. We were going through it yesterday. Chris Williams, my man, Ford, playing on that defensive line. Ford's played pretty well. I think Chris Williams has been a dog. Cowart has been outstanding recently. That's their defensive line. So they're going to have to continue to lean on Jonathan Ford, who they recently picked up off the Packers practice squad. He's splash plays. He's been kind of in there a little bit, make effective at times. But specifically Cowart and a little bit of Ford. But to be honest, they've got it done with that defensive front. They've had no issue with that. They're not in a bad spot for their defensive line. I think Chris Williams has played well enough, and they have Zach Pickens, and we're Zach Pickens fans around here. I'm happy to see that he's kind of starting to get it together in the NFL a little bit, like he's figuring it out a little bit. He's still a backup for them, and at edge they're healthy too. Like DeMarcus Walker, I'm a fan. Montez Sweat, we know he's a very good player. He was so huge when I traded for him last year. Maybe it hasn't been the same season, but he's a good player. And then outside of that, they have Darrell Taylor, who they've used as their pass rush piece. He'll be out there against the run a little bit. But as a pass rusher, that's where he's at his best. He's like the underrated pass rusher. I think you think Bears, you think Montez Sweat, you got to look for Darrell Taylor because that dude can absolutely get after it. So the Bears are good to go for this one. Like in a lot of ways, they're ready to go. They're healthy. They're going to be able to lean into what they want to lean into today. Second mortgage, you can donate other stuff for money. Oh, snap. You trying to go more than that? Uno, get a big house next? Vegas hates the Lions fans. Vegas hates the Lions fans. We could cause a major pothole. Man, Tom Kennedy going crazy. And my guy Uno's about to, man. That's crazy. He said you can donate money and other things. You can donate other stuff for money. Pete, stop it, Pete. All right, we gotta move over to golf should do all right today. Not too much win. We gotta go to the players to watch for this game, man. And you guys can throw me some names in the chat as well. We're gonna go live offense and defense here. Just name some players to watch, guys, that I would be keeping an eye on. I mean, let's just start it most basic. It's the running backs, right? It's Vaki. It's Craig. The over-under numbers for Gibbs are set incredibly high. I think, to me, it's the other two because I don't think Gibbs... I could see Gibbs getting 18 carries. Like, I could see him hitting over the under. The weird thing about that is how actually high that number in terms of yards is set. Like, they're expecting him to go crazy today. It's interesting. I don't think he'll be getting 30 carries. I think it'd be a bad idea. I think you can lean on him a little bit heavier, but I wouldn't do that, especially if you're going to continue to use him in the pass game like they did. They may pull back on that this week. I think we're going to see more jumbo personnel, so they may pull back a little bit. But if they're going to continue to use him in the pass game, 40-plus routes, some of that was the score and situation, but I'd definitely pull back on that. We need this guy through the playoffs at this point because that's our guy now. We lose that, it changes a lot for us. So we need him healthy. So for me, Vaki, Craig, I think Craig's going to see the field a lot today. I think they're going to lean on Craig Reynolds. So Craig Reynolds is the player to watch, but obviously Vaki, if he gets any touches. 92.5. 92.5. It's a nuts number. I mean, I pushed it down on BetUS to 86 when I went the over there because I do think he can hit that. But, man, that is a high number. Kirby Joseph is an interesting one. I'm not mad at that. I think especially, Brian Branch playing. Someone threw Branch in the chat. Oh, you did as well, Spencer. Yeah, Brian Branch playing helps us a lot because not having him would have changed up schematically how I think we had to approach this team. You know, in terms of like just when we want to simply go cover one blitz. We know Brian Branch is a great name because Brian Branch didn't have the best game. I don't think he's had the best stretch here, specifically in man coverage recently. So I think Brian Branch is a good name to watch. He gave up the 30-plus yard touchdown last time he played this team. He also made some big-time plays. He's made some great plays. But he's given up a few things. He's given up some drags, that kind of stuff. So if the Lions are aggressive and they are blitzing him, he's got to step down. He's always a player that's going to be in the action. And we'll see. Branch moving to nickel up at the line. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. It was a conversation to begin the week. I don't think he is. My guess would be what the Lions do is they rotate Iffy in as like a third safety. I think Branch will play at safety with Kirby Joseph. And then I think what will happen is Mosley will probably rotate at outside corner. At some point, I think he's going to get on the field. He's going to rotate in. I think Vildor will probably start at corner. And then at some point, we'll see Mosley step in at outside corner. That would be my guess. And now if something happens mid-game where they get really thin really fast at outside corner, then I could see it happening. But I think otherwise they're going to kind of just lean into what they normally do, and then they're just going to see where Mosley's at. And I'm cool with it because at some point we need to see what the heck Mosley looks like. I think he's fantastic. I think he was fantastic, and now it's just got to see what he looks like. But if you start moving all these pieces around and you put a Meek Robertson out wide, at that point, again, there's not really a path, I feel like, for Mosley taking that job. It's definitely not a clear-cut path. It's kind of more so of like, okay, if something happens, Mosley, you could step in. Like I think they really want to see what's there, so I think they're going to keep it basic, at least to start the game, and they're just going to let Mosley rotate in with Kendall Vildor. I could be wrong. That's kind of my guess for this one, though. That's my guess. But I do think that in time, the Lions should consider it. You know, depending on how Mosley looks today, depending on if he's healthy, hopefully he is. If something's there and it's not, I would absolutely consider moving it. I put a Meek out wide, I put Branch to the slot, and I'd put Iffy at safety. I would absolutely consider doing that. And that's what we did last season in the playoffs, essentially. We just had different outside corners, but we did the same thing. You know what I mean? We had Iffy at safety. We had Branch in the slot. Branch would come off the field at times. We did it against San Fran. Vildor was that outside corner last time. So for me, I would look at doing that. I think it puts a better secondary on the field. In my opinion, I think it's a better secondary to have Amik Robertson out wide, Terrion on one side, Branch in the slot, Iffy and Kirby at safety. I think that's a great front or great secondary. The thing is, I just don't think they'll get there this fast. Plus, I also think that they're not, I don't say they're not comfortable, but I don't know if they want to give Iffy Melifonwu all those snaps immediately. I mean, they could just keep Branch at safety, and then when they go three receivers offensively, kick Branch and then just put Iffy in the game. But I don't think they're going to want to see Iffy forced to put Iffy into that many snaps until the season goes on and they feel more comfortable with that, and then I think slowly they'll progress into that. And I think that also, again, it allows Mosley an opportunity to potentially carve out a role. And I just don't see how he carves out a role if Amik Robertson's starting out wide. So as much as I'd like to see it, I just don't know how they get there. But I think in time, everything's on the table. I think everything should be on the table. Same thing with Pittman. I think Pittman should be on the table to potentially start over Trevor Nowatzki, but I definitely don't think that's happening today, and it doesn't sound like he's will do it at all. Za'Darius Smith's a great name. I love that. It's a great player to watch. Look, man, last time we played this team, but he's done this against a couple of the divisional opponents. He's having success on the interior, getting this team in a third down. I think we're going to see a lot of the similar coverage looks, coverage drops that we saw against Buffalo, because both things carried over in terms of how we played those teams. A lot of cover 3 on 3rd and long, 3rd and medium, a lot of cover 1, but where they're probably their weakest in pass pro is the interior. Now, I think Darnell Wright's been a little bit up and down anyway, so I think Za'Darius Smith could get right a couple times, but in the interior is where it's the most inconsistent. So to me, you get Za'Darius Smith inside against a guy like Matt Pryor, he can absolutely win there. Tevin Jacobs, he can win there. Coleman Shelton, a little bit shaky, he can win there. That's to me where he'll shine in this one. And then also run defense, because so much of this can be about running. They do a lot of wide rushing recently. They have a lot of variety to it, but there's a lot of wide rushing in that offense as well. Saint going for 10 plus receptions today. Saint for 10 plus. What was it last time? What do you have, 8? I don't hate that, and I think honestly weather probably leans more into saying having a bigger game because it's going to be more underneath passing. I just don't like that bet against Chicago. I like staying away from that because I really like Kyler Gordon. So I think last time I did the same thing. I stayed away from him. I went with J-Mo. I think J-Mo came out firing and then it pulled back a little bit. I like Laporta more, but I don't hate that for the weather. I think it leans more towards his style, and I think especially if they are using much heavier personnel, forcing the Bears to put 3 backers on the field because they like to sit in nickel, then I think you get that opportunity to get him one-on-one on the outside. I don't think we'll get a lot of Terrell Smith matched up with Saint. But whether you get him or Tyreek, if you can get one of those two matched up with him, that's going to be a money matchup all game. And even against Jalen Johnson, I think he could definitely win. I just stay away from it against Chicago because I think that they have one of the better nickel players in football, so I don't like leaning that way. But I definitely like leaning Laporta for this game. But he's always close to it, to be honest. Like sometimes it's not even just matchup. It's just he's going to get about there every game. Like most games, he's probably put eight receptions plus on the field. Okay, what did I miss here? What's up with Broderick Martin? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assume it's a healthy scratch. I don't think it's an injury. I don't think he popped up this week with an injury, and now they're going with Chris Smith instead. I think some of that, too, is, again, kind of the flexibility. I mean, they definitely could have went with Broderick Martin over Chris Smith, in my opinion, unless they're just trying to play Chris Smith at defensive tackle, which, again, Chris has more flexibility. Broderick's not going to kick out outside of a guard. They're just not going to do that with him, not on purpose. So that's not ideal for them. Chris Smith actually could do that a little bit. But to be honest, I think Miles Adams is the guy that plays more defensive tackle in this game. And then obviously you have Pat O'Connor. So it is more about a nose tackle backup. Going Chris Smith over Broderick is an interesting decision. I can understand why they didn't go with both. But they've now seen a little bit of Broderick. They saw a little bit of a sample size of Chris Williams. I thought Chris Williams played well. I thought Broderick had some up and down. I thought there was good. There was some like, oh, that was bad. There was some good, though, there as well. It was just a little bit up and down. I think both of them were inconsistent. I think the thing with Chris Smith is I think it's a little bit more, you kind of know what you're going to get, right? There's a little bit less upside. There's truly less upside to his game. There's a lot less length. There's a lot less making plays on the football. And there's a lot more reliance on where he gets off the ball. But Chris Williams is a little bit more stout, right? Chris Williams isn't going to be moving off the spot as often, and I think that he's played well against the wide rushing scheme. That'd be the other thing I'd also point to in this game, because Chicago's done this the last few weeks is they've won a lot of wide rushing in a lot of different ways. They've done a lot of wide rushing schematically, and I do think that Broderick Martin, that's not his best. That's not where he's at his best. Like, he had some good reps against Green Bay, allowing linebackers to get upfield, but consistently, that's not where he's going to thrive. DJ Reader played well against Chicago last time. I expect him to have a nice game. But Chris Smith, to me, is a little bit more built to kind of handle that workload, and Miles Adams really well built to handle that workload versus a guy like Broderick Martin consistently, and I think they're going to lean on it very heavily in this game. Mitchell Agude activated. Wonder what he has going on. I assuming that he's just going to play defensive end as a backup. I mean, last time we had him up, he played defensive end. I think that's what he'll do. I thought maybe there'd be a little more flexibility, but they didn't really tap into that. I think it opens the opportunity to kick Levi inside a little bit. Same thing with Miles Adams, right? Because you have depth there. It's also potentially special teams as well, but you have depth there. I mean, you'd have Levi, Pascal, Zadarius Smith, and then also kind of Miles Adams. But if they treat Miles Adams like a specific interior player, and same thing with Pat O'Connor, then you're at Mitchell Agude's kind of like number 4. It's a lot of depth. I've always liked the idea of trying out Mitchell Agude in the sandbacker role. I thought they were going to try it last time he was on the field, and they didn't. They were like, we're going to play him at defensive end. But maybe this is one of those weeks. I think it's a good point. Maybe this is one of those weeks where they mix it up a little bit, and they put him in that spot, and they see what it looks like. They're just like, hey, let's just see what it looks like. Trevor Nowaski's going to be back and starting this week. You don't have Quan Alexander up this week. So maybe there's an opportunity that with Trevor Nowaski being flexible, Trevor could kick the will linebacker if you needed to. You'll still have Ben Neiman. But if Trevor Nowaski needed to kick the off ball, you could just step down Mitchell Agude. You know what I mean? Like, you could do that. You could put him into that role. They didn't do it last time, but I think that he's more built to do it. They just didn't do it last time. I don't know. I'd love to see him try it, though. I think that position should be up for competition, and I know that Trevor can play off ball as well. Like, we've just kind of forced him into that role, but that doesn't mean that that's where they like his outlook for the rest of the season. He hasn't done it that much, and again, it's not like he's been elite when in that Sam role. Like, he hasn't been that. He's just been solid, and he's added a little bit of pass rush as time has gone on a little bit. But last time he played the Bears, if we take it back, dude got 0 pass rush. So if we look at last time, we look at how last matchup went, the guy created absolutely 0 pass rush on Braxton Jones. So Mitchell Agude could create more pressure. I mean, it's just, to keep it simply, like, Mitchell Agude could absolutely get after the quarterback better, and if they can put him in that role and try to test it out a little bit, they're probably going to get a little bit more out of it. I mean, I can even show you the plays. I'm with you there. Yeah, so that's kind of my thought. Miles Adams, Chris O'Connor, who play where, will step up and play. Hey, I'm fired up for those dudes, bro. I'm fired up for those dudes. Miles Adams was a dog, though. Like, I got to keep it. We'll see how it goes this week. But he was a dog last time, dude. He was a dog last time he was on the field. All right, let's, he was playing a lot of defense fan, but he played both. Let me pass rush Chicago. So yeah, he had 19 pass rush snaps against Chicago. Now I'm going to show y'all what this looked like. All right, I'm just going to let you guys kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about here. Trevor Nowaski playing right here on for the Lions, working on the right tackle here. As you go through these reps, you'll notice that there is never really any pressure created. There's no wins from Trevor Nowaski. Now, Green Bay, he found a little bit. He beat their tight ends a couple of times. And what we know about Chicago is they're going to lean heavily on their tight ends, right? Chicago leans on Mercedes Lewis. They got a lot of size, Cole Kmet. They may not love Trevor for that look. Here he is on Braxton Jones. I can show you a few of these plays and tell you that this is how the entire game went as a pass rusher. Jamar Jefferson, running back a few years ago, shows some promise. But put to pasture now, activated, might be a better option for blocking or short yardage than Reynolds. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. I don't know. I think Gibbs is kind of our short yardage back now, though, to be honest. But I'm not mad at it. I'm a big Jamar Jefferson guy. To me, Jefferson, he's definitely built to do that. Pass protection is an interesting point. He could be better in that spot. Craig definitely has the hands. Jamar could be better in that spot. They never really they used him and Craig similarly, not much of his like actual like pass catching pieces. But I'm not mad at that. I think it's an interesting thought. Yeah, well, I'm curious to see how that plays out because that's the one thing with Craig. We kind of have to see how that plays out. Because I think Craig's going to get a majority of the looks. I kind of assume that Jamar's not going to see the field offensively at all. I think Jamar Jefferson will probably be more so for special teams because Craig will probably kick back on some of the role that he's actually been playing there recently. Look at this. See, Trevor was creating nothing as a pass rusher in this game. So as I'm rolling through these plays, that's the reason that Mitchell Agude could have an opportunity today to show some things. Scott, what up, Dose? At work. We'll check in at lunch. I appreciate you, Scott. What matchup on offense do you love? Matchup on offense that I love. I love what Jameson did last time. I love anybody that's matched up on Tyreek Stevenson or Terrell Smith. Anybody at any time, I love that matchup. I think it's tough, though. I think they have a really good defense. I love going at their free safety. I think that's the best way to get a shot play. We showed yesterday some of the opportunities that you can have. I love throwing the ball in early downs, though I think we should be able to run the football. I love working behind Kevin Zeitler. I think Zeitler had a really nice game last time he played this team, and not having Graham makes even more sense. So for me, that's some of the things that I love. I think we should be able to run the football in this game. We have to get back to finding success running the football because it hasn't been there. The last few weeks, it just hasn't been us. And my assumption is that the Lions are gonna be like, yo, we have to run the football. Like Dan Campbell, we have to run the football. So I assume they're gonna try to lean into that and be disciplined to like figuring out how they can get that thing rolling and get off the ground. But I do like throwing on early downs against this team. I do like attacking that cornerback spot. I don't love going at their nickel. Don't love going at Jalen Johnson. I love Tim Patrick underneath for catch and run. I love Sam Laporta for this game. Almost home for the game. Got to stop and get some game day snacks. What are your game day snacks? Man, watch this, right? Chat, I honestly got no game day snacks. I'm going to be honest. Like I was actually going to text my dad that let him know, like, yo, we ain't got no snacks, dog. I'm actually going to text him right now. We got no snacks, bro. I say we got no snacks over here. I'm going to text him. I text him right now. We got no snacks. But what I do have is this. Watch this. I'm telling y'all. Honestly, I don't like these because I eat too many of them. And I know these are not good for you, so I try not to do that. But every once in a while, I mean, I mainly have them for sugar. But if I got no other options, sometimes you got to pull out the animal crackers, bro. You know what I mean? And these got like little dots on them and stuff, so it's like, ooh, okay. You know what I mean? No leftover B-Day cake, dude. No leftover. I didn't even have a birthday cake, man. Eric, I forgot about that, man. You know what? I'm actually cool with that. I didn't need a birthday cake, but man, I didn't even think about that. I didn't have no dang birthday cake yesterday. I didn't even have one. I mean, I had to have a late birthday cake. I had a birthday cake on Christmas. That's a good point, man. Shoot, man, I kind of forgot about that aspect of the birthday was to have a cake. We do birthday cakes in the chat, and I didn't have a birthday cake. That's insane. I shouldn't even said that out loud. That's crazy, actually. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's where we're at right now. In this chat room right now, that I had to tell you that, and you guys are all putting birthday cake, just spamming them in there yesterday, and here we are. I had no birthday cake. Man. Yeah, animal crackers do be hitting. I like the plain ones. Like I feel like they got like a little something to them, but these are solid. You know what I mean? These are real solid, man. These are more plain kind of, but they actually are birthday cake. You know what I mean? So actually, hold up. Birthday cake mini animals. Actually, we are hooked up. Hold up. We are hooked up. Tomato soup with grilled cheese. Fire. Fire. Hey, fire. You will show. Oh, okay. I can't promote these. Hey, look, man. What if it was a sponsorship? What if it was a sponsorship? Betting, hey, hit me up. You know what I mean? Betting, if we got to do some work. But I am going to get a version of a birthday cake. That's what it sounds like. Okay. Hey, my bad. Look, people are listening. People are listening. What the heck are you talking about? I got my phone in the background. All right. My mom just texted me. She's watching the show. You know what I mean? She's like, yo, you're gonna have a version of a birthday cake, essentially. You know what I mean? She was not happy with that comment. So I'm throwing it in there. She's a baker, right? So she might sponsor the channel. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, okay. Okay. Hey, look, if we get, you know what I mean, I'll throw it off. Lions 38, Bears 10. It's your birthday? No, my birthday was yesterday. You were older than I thought. Finally 17. All right, Carlos. We'll have birthday tomorrow. 4 eggs, diced ham, peppers, and onions breakfast wrap. That sounds fire. Then I work out during the entire game with 2 bottles of water every game. You work out the entire game? Nah, Apricot, you're built different, bro. What do you mean you work out the entire game? Apricot, I know you lying, dog. You work out the entire game? You work out for 3.5 hours? Yo, hey, Apricot's built different. But I'm not mad at it, though, because, like, if you think about it, right, you could just, Like, yo, I'm not going to work out any days of the week. But Sunday, I'm going to get all of it in, bro. I'm getting all of it in, man. Like, I'm doing every part of my body 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm done. Actually, I don't know if that works or not. You're going to be all wiggly and stuff. It's going to be hard to move around. But you know what? Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, man. Goff, 400 touchdowns. Oh, my gosh. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gibbs with a 110 piece and 2 touchdowns. I hope you're right, man. If we lose like this, C's might be over. C's might be over, chat. 17 the entire game. Okay, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy. Happy birthday. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Birthday was yesterday. I appreciate it. Sorry, dose of mom. Didn't mean to upset you with the birthday cake. Yeah, she was in the chat. I was looking at my phone, so I set myself up for that. But yeah, she's in the chat. So, I laid that out there. But honestly, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it, man. Completely forgot. Birthdays overrated. It's getting older and older. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. 2 seasons straight, my guy. Apricot looks crazy. Apricot, I know. Are you like a bodybuilder or something, dude? I know Apricot looks crazy. Okay, anyways, we were completely off topic here. Completely off topic. The Lions have to blow out Chicago. Isn't it Hutch back? Hutch is not back. We're hoping for the Super Bowl. We hit on a lot of players to watch. Let me quickly touch on a couple of defensive guys because I feel like we hit on a lot of offense there. I talked about kind of the matchups I liked. Chat, let me know if anybody's been able to find like a prop bet for Sione Vaki. I haven't been able to find one. So if anybody's got like a prop bet for Sione Vaki, man, throw it in there. I want to see what that number's at. Defensively, though, everybody's going to be important. I want to see how Levi plays. I think he played well last week. I want to see where he plays specifically. And then DJ Reader, I think he's got to be on one. I think Reader's been consistent. I think Jack Campbell's another one to keep an eye on because to me, Jack Campbell played really good in coverage last time. But specifically, it's going to be, to me, about David Long. Because I think David Long is the guy that went that way last week. And if he continues to go that way, we're going to have a problem. He's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. And then at the cornerback position, it's just going to be fun. Emmanuel Mosley. Like, that's easy. I mean, these other guys for sure. Emmanuel Mosley is the guy to watch. That's what we're all looking for. Emmanuel Mosley, she's in the chat a lot. Y'all probably just miss it. But Emmanuel Mosley is also someone that we're looking for as well. Like, I got to see how that plays out. Can your mom make a blueberry pie? If so, how much you charge? I'm sure she can make a pie. She does, my understanding, a lot of cakes, mostly cookies. And then there's like other versions, not other versions, but there's like other desserts, kind of like pumpkin stuff, like pumpkin bars. You know what I'm saying? What's the other one? Like these, like what she texted me is we're gonna get these. She has like these like cookies, right? But there's like a marshmallow in it, and then there's like this frosting on top of it. So they're like, what does she call them? Chocolate marshmallow cookies. Hey, I think that's what it's called, but it's like that. So it's mainly cookies, but yeah, I think they started with pies. My understanding is they actually started by doing pies. So yeah, she's had a bakery for a while. Crazy Chiefs have, but yeah, she could definitely do that. Hit me up, man. You know what I mean? We'll get it sent over for Christmas. Well, probably not for Christmas. I'm gonna be honest, but at some point, Crazy Chiefs. Let me not throw some stuff out there that ain't true. Crazy Chiefs haven't scored over 30 points all year. We could do it with a patched up D. Maybe. That is nuts. I didn't know that. I mean, they handled business yesterday. It was disappointing, but that was my pick yesterday. I'm actually 2-0 so far, so I'm feeling really good. You know, I got the Ravens handled business, but this is the day where things are going to go downhill fast. I already know. I'm like, you look at today's schedule. I took a lot of games that. Here's the issue. Is like when you get to this point in the schedule and you're picking teams that you don't trust either of them, that's where things go bad. Yeah, you're picking teams that you don't trust on either side. So I can't believe there's a chance they're going to give Jamar Jefferson more carries than Vaki. Hey. I mean, I could see it. They know what Jamar is, right? Vaki, we don't. Vaki, I don't know what he is at pass pro, but I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if that was the case, to be honest with you. Now, that being said, here's the the flip side of it, right? So speaking of like pulling back Craig Reynolds for special teams, they could also flip it around to that point and say, okay, we're going to see more Sione Vaki on special teams because Vaki at one point was our returner. Craig has kind of been a returner for us. Make Vaki the returner. Then all of a sudden, Jamar Jefferson maybe does play more because Jefferson has really never been a returner for us. He's been an up back, right? But he's never really been, or he's been what we used to call him is fullback or other running backs. He's been an other running back that plays at second level right in front of the backs on the return piece, even though it's different this year. Now they're all just lining across from each other. That's how we used to label it. But Jamar Jefferson usually would play that role, not as a returner, but Vaki actually was the returner. So I would say that maybe we get a Vaki return today. If they give us an opportunity, maybe Vaki can take one back. That'd be awesome. But I completely agree with this. And hopefully in time, that's where we get to. Get Brock Wright a touchdown today. You bet on Brock Wright. Looking for us to have a defensive scheme against these guys we just played. I completely agree. I think it's going to look a lot of similarities. It is good enough. Oh my gosh, I can't read. It good enough to change up too much. Our D is depleted, so should be able to stop these guys. Yeah, I think it's going to look very similar to what we did last time. But similar to Bills, you got to stop the run. I think it's look very similar to the way that we played the Bills. Have you met any of the current Lions team yet? I met the. How would I say that? The current Lions team, yeah, I've met Lions that are on the Lions over the years. But in terms of like new guys this year, I got to meet Rakestraw. That was fire. So I got that picture with Rakestraw. I had the jersey at camp, so that was fire. I'm trying to think of anybody else new that I've actually met this year. I haven't met Davenport. Nope. I don't think many from this new class. I don't think many. I haven't met Jared Goff. I met Jared Goff. I know. I met his family. They're real cool. Man. Yeah, I met Jared Goff. That's actually my wallpaper. It's my wallpaper. Yo, Chad. See, here's the thing too. This jersey behind me, this Jared Goff jersey. Jared Goff signed this. Like, I know he signed that kind of thing. It was like I bought it. And it was like, oh, he signed it online. Like I gave it essentially to him to sign. So this is like. They hooked me up. That's what I'm saying. They're real good people, man. They hooked me up with this. It says on the jersey, 2 doses of Dion for that reason. Now, he put some spaces in there. JG, I don't know what you were doing, but he did that. But, yeah. I just read that Brian Branch will play slot, Amik on the outside, Mahogany at left guard. So that is what they're doing? All right. I mean, it's a little bit disappointing because I want to see Mosley play, but I guess at this point, honestly, I'm just not expecting to see Mosley play at all. But maybe they'll rotate it. I mean, they could rotate Amik and Mosley, I guess. The only thing I'd wonder about that is if he's going to be at safety, if the Bears come out in 12 personnel, are they going to put Branch at safety or are they going to keep Iffy at safety? Because last year they did that. But I just wonder a little bit because at this point, with it being the first week that they're back, I wonder if they're going to say, okay, we're not going to go that far. We're going to use Branch at safety if he's actually going to come off the field. Then when they go through receivers, we'll kick down Branch if he steps in. That way he's not on the field as many snaps. And then Amik kicks out wide. Because then Amik would always be on the field. And then Amik kicks out wide, and then Terrion plays outside. Then you could try to rotate Mosley in. Probably not with Terrion just because he's a rookie, but maybe then with Amik. I'd like to see him rotate into some fashion. That's it. I just want to see him play a little bit. He doesn't need to start or anything. I just want to see him rotate in. You lucky? Ah, man, it was crazy. That whole thing was crazy. Like meeting all of them and stuff. You know what I mean? They knew me from the channel. So that's how I met them, man. Yeah, but I got some cool pictures with them. Those are the coolest, right? When like people know you from the channel. That was the coolest one. Mahogany is his first start. This will be his first start. He played 3 snaps this year. Before we get out of here, because it's 12:40, we're gonna start getting to score predictions here in a second. I will show the 3 points that the 3 plays that he actually played against Green Bay. Because he didn't play in the preseason. So, again, a lot of this is just like, okay, what do you do at college? That's what our projections will be based off of. He was a great run blocker. He was an excellent puller. I loved him for the gap scheme. I like our running backs for the gap scheme, so lean into that. But pass protection is my major concern. And we'll see how it plays out today. I don't think they have the best interior rushers, but it's the NFL. We'll see. It's going to be a challenge. That's what I'm worried about. Christian. Oh, there it is. Okay, here it is. You told Iffy about my channel? Hey, that's what's up, JT. I've never met Iffy. Well, take that back. We met Iffy I met him virtually. I've never met him like in person, that kind of thing. But we do got the one of the coolest autograph things that we got. Let me see if I can show it. Shout out to Banks for this. He actually hooked us up. This is one of my favorites, bro. We got Iffy back here. That's the game-winning interception against Minnesota. That's like the coolest, bro. That's like the coolest picture, man. I mean, this Kirby one is slick too because it's against Green Bay. That one's slick. I like that one. But that Iffy one's nasty because he wrote on there NFC North champs. That's nasty. It's great to have him back. Okay, do we have the? Give me one sec. We'll leave on this. I think he. Huh. Okay, I don't know why it's not doing what it does. Maybe I can't do it that way. All right. And Merry Christmas, Happy birthday to you all. Oh, happy birthday, oh my good, Merry birthday, Happy Christmas. I couldn't even read that, man. I couldn't even read that. You as well. Appreciate you, Nathan. Hey, we're gonna change up some things. I'm gonna be straightforward. My plan is to change up some things starting next week. You know, next week will be a little bit weird because of Christmas. We still got our shows on Bleacher Report. We got the not the post game. We got the midweek show on Thursday, but we're gonna change up some of the ways that we do content. Not drastically, but just kind of like the way that I'm doing it. I think I want to tweak it a little bit, and y'all can just let me know by how they're. I know y'all will support regardless, but I just want to tweak it a little bit. I want to focus more on after the game. Not after the game, but I want to focus more on going through the post game specific content versus the pregame content, right? Because right now, scheduling wise, we do the E-Man back with special teams. Yeah, E-Man played a little special teams last time. That would make sense to get him some looks there. I've got to see him on defense, man. Like I get it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even care if he plays the special teams. Like it's crazy, but I'm just like, bro, I just want to see this dude play. Chris, where is his plays at? Christian. I don't know. I can't find his place. No results. Okay, you lying to me, but that's oh no, that's because it's on the wrong week. These are all special teams, dog. Yeah, I don't know where it's Green Bay. Where's Green Bay at? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna show you his play. Nah, I can't show you his plays. All right, whatever. Well, whatever. It's not that important. We'll see how it looks today. But I'm gonna focus more on that. I'm gonna focus more on the recapping of things, what happened during the game, rather than kind of like the upcoming opponent. I feel like that. I don't think it's been the best method, necessarily. It's kind of pulled us to the other teams rather than pulling us to the Lions. I think it's fun because it gives us a sense of like what's coming up. It's more of a projection type. But the issue is it doesn't really translate to anything. Like it kind of just happens and then it's over. So I'm going to kind of flip that. I'm going to flip that a little bit. We're going to try to start that starting next week. So we may not get the super long preview/prediction video. Those take a couple of days to put together, even a live stream. So I'm going to pull back on that. May not do those anymore. May just be more short, sweet kind of preview/prediction. We'll probably do some sort of live stream in there, but just where we're at in the season, I want to make it more lines focused and just kind of see how that goes. Meek playing on the outside is not a bad idea. No, I'm not mad at it at all. I thought he'd play outside when he came here. So, well, okay. Well, let's throw this last point out there. Could they consider, if they're going to play a Meek on the outside and Brian Branch in the slot, could they consider playing Mosley in the slot if he rotating between slot and safety? Or not iffy, Branch rotating between slot and safety, but Mosley stepping in as a slot corner. I mean, that was what he was doing coming into the season. If we take it back, like Emmanuel Mosley was the starting nickel corner essentially for us, and then the injuries, and then Meek took the job, and it was just like, all right, we're rolling with a Meek. But that's what he was. Like both those guys were battling for that spot. So if a Meek goes to the outside, Brian Branch would make the most sense because I don't want him off the field. But actually, in turn, it would make some sense to say, okay, we'll just play less iffy today, more Branch at safety/slot. But Emmanuel Mosley's actually going to play as the inside cornerback. I think that's an interesting option because that's not getting talked about, but that's what he did coming into the year. So if they're continuing to work him there, then there you go. I mean, that would make some sense. I wonder if E-Man doesn't have his speed back. It's possible. I mean, he's been through a lot. I don't know. I don't know. You think Valky will get some touches? I think he will. I think we'll get a few. I'd say he gets 2. I think he gets 2 carries today, 2 touches today. I would like to see it be more, but my guess would be 2. My over-under would be set at 2.5. Maybe 1.5 would be my over-under. All right, let's go to score predictions, man, before we wrap this. Put your score predictions in the chat. Mine is Lions 28-20, so I have the over on the 47.5 shot to bet US, and then I also have the Lions covering the 7-point spread at this point. Lions 28-20, and then we'll be live. I'm going to transition over there. We got about 15 minutes till the game, so tune into that new live stream. It's set up on the channel right now. You can join over there. Use that code YouTube150 for bet US. This would make some sense. I think this makes some sense. Put him back there as a returner. Let him do that. Jamar Jefferson doesn't really do that. So, yeah, let him do that. Take some off the plate of Craig Reynolds. Let Craig Reynolds roll a little bit. 34-15. Doug, do you say this every week? Doug, I feel like I've seen this score prediction before. I don't know if it's you, but I've seen this. 31-17, 23-17. A lot of y'all are hitting the over here. 34-24. That's definitely the over. 27-17. A little bit under there, okay. Vaki needs to be try running back. I'm telling you, put him at running back. Let him go. He's going to go crazy if he does. He's going to go crazy if he does, man. Yesterday? Oh, okay, that's why. That makes sense. Okay, I was like, I've seen this. All right. I like your consistency then. 35-28, 31-13. Shout to Jordy. Jordy, we rocking the Vaki today. You know what I mean? This is the day to rock the Vaki. Let him cook. All right, man. We're going to leave it there. Y'all all think the Lions are going to win. And if you're right on your score prediction, man, screenshot it and send it to me after the game. Before we get out of here, one last shout out, man, to BetUS. Use code YouTube150 to get your 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two. That is YouTube150. Google it, man. Go on your phone. It's much easier, I think, to use on your phone, but you can use it on the website as well. You can see all the different options that you have here. You got live betting if you make an account. You got casino games. You got the race book. They have a ridiculous amount of promotions. And then, of course, Sportsbook. I mean, these are insane. You got, of course, Sportsbook is where I kind of just live right here. NFL, college football playoffs is rolling right now. NBA is doing its thing. They're just kind of really getting into the swing of things. We got trades happening. And then on the NFL side, man, like you can bet a ton of different things here. One of the more fun ways to do it is the NFL alternates. I think that's cool. They give you like alternative lines. I don't know how many people have actually used this. Can y'all hear me? But yeah, NFL alternates is pretty cool. So like, yeah, if you want to bet the Lions by 17.5, it's plus 300. That's crazy. That's not even that insane. Or you can go 14.5, 10.5. Like you can jump up on the numbers here. So I think that's fun. The NFL alternates are cool. So if you're confident in Lions of the week, and they've done that before, that's the place to do it, man. That's YouTube 150. I appreciate you joining, and I'll see you guys in the live stream watch party. We out. I'll see y'all in about 10 minutes.